It's great to see everyone. It's nice to have everyone here. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. So, let's get started. My name is Batista Flores, and I'm the president of the Port Towns Youth Council, and I attend Bladensburg High School. And I want to say thank you for inviting us today to speak to the wonderful town of Edmonston residents. Today, we are here to give you homeowners some great news about Prince George's County Raincheck Rebate Program that is administered by the Chesapeake Bay Trust, who are stewards of the Chesapeake Bay. Before the pandemic, we were awarded a grant from the Chesapeake Bay Trust to function as Raincheck Rebate ambassadors, who will educate Prince George's County residents about the Raincheck Rebate Program and its amazing benefits.
Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Reyes, and I'm a member of the Port Towns Youth Council, and I am a alumni at Bladensburg High School. Now, you may be asking, what is the Raincheck Rebate Program? Well, the Prince George's County Raincheck Rebate Program offers rebate money to homeowners and businesses to install practices that will improve stormwater runoff quality, reduce pollution, and improve local stream and river health.
Hello, my name is Andy Kanzi, and I'm a proud member of the Port Towns Youth Council, and I'm an 11th grader at Bladensburg High School. Haley mentioned earlier that you could receive rebate money, and you're probably wondering, what are you going to receive that money for? Well, you're going to receive that money for installing practices on your property or on your business's property that will reduce the amount of water, rainwater, and stormwater from getting on your property or from pooling around your property, therefore making it dangerous for pedestrians to walk in front of or even around your property. Now, you could install things such as a rain barrel, a cistern, a pavement removal system, a permeable pavement system, a rain garden, an urban tree canopy, and even a green roof.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ayola Hannum, and I am a member of Port Towns Youth Council, and I attend Bladensburg High School. Now, Andy, you might be asking what practices? Well, these are practices that can reduce and absorb rainwater on your property, such as planting trees and installing concrete blocks that are permeable, meaning that the spaces between the pavers that allow water to seep into your system.
Hello, my name is Alana Clark, and I'm a member of the Port Towns Youth Council, and I attend Bladensburg High School. These are big projects, and you might be thinking that you don't need these big projects done on your property at this time. Are there additional projects that you might install? Yes, you can install rain barrels or cisterns to collect rainwater, which can then be reused to water your flower garden or lawn, and rain gardens that are an excellent way to slow down and reduce stormwater runoff. These beautiful gardens have plants and flowers that are compatible with your local environment.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Romero, and I am a member of the Port Towns Youth Council, and I attend Bladensburg High School. What is the maximum rebate amount? The maximum rebate amount for the lifetime of the residential property is $4,000 and $20,000 for a business/commercial property. What is stormwater and why is it important? Stormwater is rain or melted snow that runs off roofs, driveways, and the land. Gutters and pipes collect and move stormwater to the street where it picks up pollutants and debris and carries them into our storm drains, which flows right into the rivers and larger waterways.
Hello, my name is Zanaya Hardy, and I'm a member of the Port Town Youth Council, and I attend Bladensburg High School. So you're probably wondering, what are the negative impacts of stormwater runoff? 1, bacteria and other pathogens create health hazards for people and wildlife. 2, debris such as plastic bags, six-pack rings, and cigarette butts can choke and kill aquatic life, such as ducks, fish, turtles, and birds. 3, excess nutrients causes algae blooms that can destroy wildlife habitats, and impact recreational opportunities. These stormwater pollutes damage aquatic communities and other environmental resources, threaten human health, restrict recreational opportunities, and cost taxpayers money to clean up.
Hello, everyone. This is Batista again. So the question here is, what are the additional resources? You can go to cbttrust.org to acquire additional information. Again, cbttrust.org, which includes photos, fact sheets, guidelines, and maintenance information for the stormwater management practices, application instructions, and online applications, as well as frequently asked questions. For further information, you can contact Ms. Nguyen Lee at rebate@cbttrust.org or the program coordinator, Kathy Samosa, at rebate@cbttrust.org, or their numbers at 410-974-2941 at extension number 110. Again, 410-974-2941 at extension 110.
Before we close out tonight, we want to give you the opportunity to ask your questions, get them answered, so that you don't miss this amazing opportunity to get money, rebate money from the county that will benefit your properties and also the larger community.
There should be good word of mouth going out on this. And so I think you're right on target, doing a wonderful job. We just need to work to get the information to the residents so that they will apply. And an area that we don't have a lot of participation in Edmonton is businesses. And you outlined that the value to the businesses, and that's really important. So we can also push that out. Mayor Gant's going to be having a meeting with the local businesses, and so we can talk about that and have them contact you all or the trust for more information.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We definitely want the businesses to take advantage of this. They need all the help that they can get at this time, and very seldom they get the county that wants to give them money to fix up their property. So thank you so much for that information, Mr. Rod. But right now we have an opportunity to learn. I find that a lot of the learning takes place in the question and answer segment. So don't be shy. Ask any question that you might have, anybody, so that we can give you the answers. And if we don't know the answers, our two experts are on the line that knows the answer.
Hello, Reverend Addison. This is Mayor Barrow.
Yes, hi.
Just want to make sure I'm not muted. Hey, listen, I think you guys did an excellent job. I think it's an awesome presentation that's very succinct and very clear for what can be presented. And I do agree with Rod, the fact of recording it is a good opportunity to sort of get it out maybe on YouTube and then schedule a question and answer period for people that you can still have the opportunity of the question and answer period, but allowing people to view it at their leisure, but learning what they need to learn if they can go ahead and move forward. So it's a great thing that you guys have put on. So I'm going to ask a question. I don't know if I missed it, but one of the questions that we get all the time is, I can't afford to spend the money to get the rebate. And I want to see what you guys have to say about it. I know some information, but I think that it's a question that everybody wants to ask all the time. That's going to ask all the time.
Sure. When, Kathy, do you want to, I'll throw that to you.
Sure, yes, that is a question we do get often, and something that we are working with the county to, find a solution for. And so to date, the solution that we have is that there is a segment of this program that allows nonprofits to apply to receive a grant to do the work on residential property and help front those costs for the residential homeowner. So Kathy, do you want to talk a little bit more about that opportunity?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. So as Lynn said, it is a separate track. It functions as a grant program similar to some other trust programs. And it is specifically geared to help mitigate those costs, because we do hear that that is a problem. And of course, we don't want there to be we want to break down as many barriers as possible for residents, right? Because there is such a great opportunity. And so I will say that this grant program is not as used as it could be. So it'd be great to see, nonprofits also becoming aware of the Raincheck Rebate program and applying to get residents into the program. But it functions very similarly. The nonprofit organization actually handles the paperwork for the residents, makes it easier. Residents don't have to be involved in the application process. We work directly with the nonprofit, and when we're to jump in if I'm missing anything. But we do work directly with the nonprofit. They handle all the paperwork, they apply on behalf of the resident, and they also can help install the practices. So that is also a technical assistance component that's built into that program, which I know sometimes residents also struggle to find people who actually know how to install a rain barrel or, any of the other practices that we offer.
So do the nonprofits get like an administrative fee on top of the actual funding to help support the nonprofit itself?
That's a great question. That can be built into the compensation. And I will say, and Wynn actually probably knows a little bit more about this, but the way that they're compensated is within that rebate allowance. So we mentioned $4,000 per residential property. And then if you want to break that down further, there's different rebate allowances per practice type. As you might know, rain barrels are $2 per gallon. So if a nonprofit applied and it was going to install a rain barrel that was 50 gallons, the rebate allowance is $100, right? And if that's the only application they submitted, that administration fee could be built into that $100 rebate allowance. So it can't go past the rebate allowance, but it can be built into that. And when, if that's an accurate way to portray that.
Yes, that's accurate. And so we're constantly working with the county to really, address these barriers that residents and other property owners are facing to install these practices. And so it's definitely a work in progress. As many of you may know, the funding source for this program, there's a specific regulation in terms of how the funding can be used. And so we have to make sure we work within that policy.
Okay, so is this funding coming from the stormwater fee on our property taxes?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, so I appreciate all your answers. That's helpful to me. I can actually articulate the barriers to the county if you want me to help, because I can see them. In terms of when the funds don't get used like you expect them to get used, sometimes it's reaching people, but a lot of times there's administrative barriers, and I can see them.
Mayor Barrow, if you ever run into residents that do mention that as a barrier, please do feel free to send them along to us, and we're happy to help them connect potentially with a nonprofit that's willing to do the work for them and front those costs. So that barrier, doesn't exist.
Do the nonprofits, are they listed like on the website with the program so people would be able to reach out to nonprofits that are participating?
We have a contractor list, but we do not have a nonprofit list. Those come in as they come in, as nonprofits are willing to, but we, the trust does have an extensive database of nonprofits that work in the area or have, completed similar projects in the past. And those are the nonprofits we could potentially connect them to.
Yeah, I think that would be the most lucrative way to get more people involved, is that they're automatically attached to whomever it is that can offer them the upfront funding. for the rebate. So they already know ahead of time that there's this opportunity. The opportunity is the nonprofits. So except for, we should push for the businesses. I totally agree with that. And I'm glad you guys really pointed that one out. But for the residents, the nonprofits are the opportunity. So I would love to see that becoming a part of the forefront of what's presented.
Could the CARES Act money that was distributed to the municipalities, could that be used as upfront money to help them with that cost and they still be eligible for the rebate from the county?
I believe so. Not the CARES money, but the ARC money.
Okay.
The American Rescue Plan clearly has provisions for stormwater management in particular. So we definitely see some path forward in assisting residents in becoming compliant, even to our own ordinances with some of these. And the rebate program becomes an asset to us with ARP.
Yeah.
Because, that's funding that can actually come back and not just be gone. And then we can use it again, So, it's definitely something that we have our eyes on from as it relates to the American Rescue Plan Act.
Rod, is that something that the town of Edmonston would think of doing for their residents to help them to defray some of that upfront cost?
And it's something that the council probably would discuss. They haven't really got into the use of their ARP funds yet and big discussions, and so they'll be having that and seeking public input in the next few months. So certainly add to the list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like one of the things out there, but we want to do we want to do an assessment of funding needs in our community as a total picture before we make any specific decisions on what we're going to use it for, I think, including the residents and everybody. So the opportunity is there. It's just a matter of where we come down on how we're spending this money.
That's what I wanted to know. The opportunity is there for that money to be used that way if the councils decide that that's how they want to do it. Okay, thank you.
I think a focus, at least in Edmonston, is going to be on flood mitigation in a big way. And so if these rain garden and rain barrels and
cisterns,
green roofs and things can help with flood mitigation, then obviously there's going to be good support from that. They don't want another September 10th to happen where 90 homes were flooded. And, so any avenues that they can do to work on that. So I think I agree with Mayor Barrow that, that's something that'll be on the list to talk about and certainly could be looked at.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is Mayor Gant, you on the line? Would you like to say something to us?
I am on the line. Good evening. Good evening. What an awesome presentation. Let me take my camera. I don't know if you can see. What an awesome presentation. And I'm so thankful that it was recorded. And I'm also thankful that you've chosen Edmonston to issue the presentation. It means that you care about us. As you know, we care about our residents. That's for sure. And I tell you, I just want to ask those who did present, and thank you so much, Mayor Barrow, for your questions and being here. Very good. And Reverend Gale just asking about the ARPA funds, if that could be used towards to assist our residents, because when they have to pay anything up front now, all of us, we use the pandemic as the excuse not to be able to do. And one of the things that's important to us is to assist our residents, as Mr. Barnes said, in flood mitigation. the community as well as our residents in their homes, because so many homes were affected. So that is one of the ways that we'll think about assisting. And I want the residents also to take advantage of as many programs as they can that the county offers. I want them to take advantage of that first, so that we can utilize our funding, appropriately and wisely. So providing them that knowledge, that's why I'm saying this recording is good. And Mr. Barnes, I think he alluded to that we could run it possibly. I think that's what you said. I don't know if I missed it. Mr. Barnes, run it in the town so that our residents can see it, because there should be a requirement in order to receive the funding. There should be a requirement of knowledge of flood mitigation in order to receive the funding. The other thing I wanted to ask the presenters, the student presenters, in learning this information, because you had to kind of study it, you had to, you learned your part that you were going to say. But I want to know if you've paid more attention as you've ridden by or driven by. Have you paid more attention to homes that have rain barrels? Have you thought about, the presentation, and how has it changed you in any way about flooding, about water conservation, and that kind of thing? And, just a couple of you can just chime in if my question was clear.
I have seen rain barrels around. There's some in my neighborhood, and it's actually a great thing. I've actually spoken to some of them, because I had some confusion about why they had a big, tank of water in their backyard. And a lot of them use it to sometimes grow crops in their little garden. And I think it's also a great way to use water instead of having a higher bill. And also it does stop flooding, because usually at certain corners of the sidewalk, there is puddling of water every now and then, but you see less and less of it around people that have those rain barrels or those cisterns where they can store water, and those systems that we talked about, where they can prevent the pooling of water around their property. And it's much, much safer. I've seen some people slip, and little kids have gotten their clothes dirty because of the mud and the runoff and everything that's gotten mixed up in that.
Right. Very good. Oh my goodness. Anyone else? I like this.
Would it be okay for me to go? It relates to, I don't remember who said it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard this grant program, the Chesapeake Bay Trust, is not, something that people, in our town jump on, right? I look past the houses and everything. I do notice not enough of them have, rain barrels or, gardens or anything like that. And I feel like the more we do this presentation and we spread it out to the people more, I feel like it will definitely reach somebody. I feel like eventually the more we do this, the more people will come, they will spread the word.
Wanted to chime in. My name is Batista, and with the information that I've gathered through the presentations and everything that we've had to study, I feel personally it has changed my point of view a lot when I also go outside. Everybody else here has experienced seeing, rain barrels and cisterns, and I've seen them everywhere, and it's nice to see it every now and then, but we do in fact need more of it. Just like Andy said, that it prevents a lot of the puddling and even future accidents. And it also affected, my personal viewpoint of how I see outside now. Every time I go outside and I see trash around the sewer systems or around the stormwater systems that are around, they're not really efficient enough. And the ones that do pick up a lot of, water tend to take the trash with them, just like the way that they pollute the waters around us. And I feel, even now when you go outside, you see little itty bitty pieces of trash, you pick them up because you think about it, it puts the outside world into perspective of how much you can do to help, what there is to do to help, like the opportunities that you have to help the world outside. Any little thing you could do, it helps a lot. It goes a very, very long way, especially with, again, what Andy said, the stormwater management. It reuses the water. It gives it a purpose. Instead of letting it go to waste, we have, a use for it. And it's very useful, for your gardens, the rain barrels, the cisterns. You can purify this water. You can do so much with it, and it's just going to waste. And I'm glad that, again, I'll piggyback on what Ayola said. If it's brought out more, people will see it. People want to implement it, and it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. I'm glad that everybody else in this project can see it.
So is this better for people in low-lying areas as opposed to people that live on hilly areas?
Well, I think personally it goes for both sides because on the top of hills, that's when the rainwater hits first. So the roofs they go straight to their cisterns, and the ones that are in the bottom of hills, the runoff, that's where the runoff is coming from. So it helps both sides of the story, since both of them will be receiving the water, the top and the bottom, since it is still going down and it's picking everything up. So if we have these filtration systems and these things that help implement the rainwater and help us clean the area, it helps both sides.
So I have a comment about, so this is not about the Raincheck Rebate, but this is definitely about stormwater management. And I don't know if you guys are aware that the county park and planning is about to start a master transportation plan project, and they've been inviting people to participate in this master program. And transportation, streets and highways have a whole lot to do with our problems with stormwater management. And I just want to make sure that they have contacted you guys, because I think that you guys really, really need to be a part of that discussion, which will be going, I don't know how they're going to schedule it, but over the next 16 months. And I just wanted to check in on finding out whether or not they've reached out to you guys to be a part of that project.
I would say not yet.
All right, well, I'll put a little bug in because I really think it's highly valuable to have our young people, especially those like you guys on this call who are very knowledgeable about, how these things impact one another. It would be great for them to hear your voices.
Thank you, Mayor, for the vote of confidence.
I agree with that totally. Totally. I think that's the thing that's important. You learn about something and it's important to know how it has changed your life. And it appears that it has. It's grown your knowledge and it's changed your life and the way you think. And I think, like Mayor Barrow said, that your input would be so important. And for them to hear, here we have a program and we have youth that it has impacted them and changed their life. And who better to get that message across but you? So I think it's wonderful. And I hope the trust fund, Chesapeake Bay Trust Fund, is taking this in. And how does this feel for you to hear the youth just provide this knowledge and what they've learned?
This is fantastic. And I'm so happy to hear that you've all been impacted by the program and by learning about these topics. It really does make our jobs, really rewarding and fulfilling to know that we're making a difference and that we have support in youth to really spread this word in their communities and share this knowledge. This is really a fantastic program. The county does so much to really, help improve the county communities and really considers input from the residents. So all of this we will take back with us and share with our partners. But yeah, thank you all so much for presenting and supporting us and partnering us with this project.
Yeah, just to add on to what Wynn said, definitely so great to be here today. And I love hearing youth speak so knowledgeably about, these topics, which are complex topics sometimes. And it's great how knowledgeable and comfortable you all are. But I especially love seeing such diverse faces because we need more of that in these topics, especially. So I'm hoping that, for some of you that might be going on to college soon or, looking ahead into the future, that you consider careers in the green field, right? Because we need more representation in green fields, environmental fields. So I'm glad that you've had this experience now, and I hope that it continues and hopefully work with you all one day in the future. So definitely happy to be part of this and support this work.
Reverend Gail, I leave the floor to you. Those were my questions and my comments, and I'm just so happy to hear from everyone. So.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much. We're so blessed, Wynn and Kathy, that we serve as the middle person between the young people advocating, using their voices in this area. And you said it's very sophisticated, very complex, but we have been doing stormwater management projects for over 15 years when we started this. And it has grown in complexity. It's grown in its science-based knowledge. And it grew so much until Prince George's Public Schools took what we were learning, what we were doing, and they infused it into their science curriculum. And now we take this program that we're doing outside the walls of the school, and the teachers come along with the students when we take this to Bladensburg Waterfront Park and actually let it be experiential learning so that they can see what permeable pavement look like and what it does. They can also do the water testing and all of the things that they do in a test tube or whatever inside. They actually see how it works on the outside. And so that has been one of the blessed opportunities that we've been given. And the county comes to the Port Towns Youth Council a lot for things that they want to use the youth voices for. So we try not to shrink back. The only reason we shrink back is because we've got more work than we have ability to make good on that work. And we always want to keep our promises. So we want to say thank you to our towns for giving us the opportunity always to serve in a capacity where we actually are serving their residents. This is what we are here for, to serve and to be good stewards over the environment that we have real estate in. So if there are no more questions, are there any more questions? I see in the chat. Thank you guys. I have something, and I think she was saying, would you consider doing this in Spanish? Well, if you notice, we have a lot of Spanish speakers, and we could do this if the town resident participation warrants it. We could do it in a dual way, actually do English, then Spanish, English, and then Spanish, so that the Spanish speakers are just as informed as the English speakers. So that's why we have a breadth and a wide variety of participants, so we can give you both at one time.
Reverend Gail, thank you again, and we will edit and have this up and get the link out to everybody. It'll be a YouTube link, and we'll get that out to you after Rick does his magic, and hopefully then it can just keep going out further and further.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, Rod, thank you for making it happen, you and Miss Avery. And also I want to thank Mr. Rick so much. But thank you all for making this happen for us, because the more the town personnel get involved, the more we can spread it to other towns. So we're on our way to Seat Pleasant next.
Reverend Gail, Lisa, one of the participants on here, has a question in the chat. Great work. What is the name of your group? I'm from Baltimore and accidentally got on this call from an invite, but loved the commitment from these young leaders and decided to stay on. So you might identify that again for her.
Isn't that sweet? I'll let the president of our youth council answer that. That's easy.
So we are part of the End Time Harvest Ministries, and our group of young leaders is part of the Port Towns Youth Council, where we're wellness ambassadors. So I can type it into the chat for you so you can save it. So I'll put it right now.
That would be
excellent.
Super.
Isn't that wonderful? Oh my goodness. Now that is wonderful. What a connection right there. They accidentally made it on. and
I'd
stay on.
I'd like to say you're providentially made it on, because I don't think there's no accident.
No accident, I tell you.
God had you to be on this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thank you. I just want to thank the young people for their commitment. I didn't want to interrupt you guys, but you guys did an incredible job representing your group and representing the work that you're doing. And I hope that everything goes the way you guys want it to go, because I see that you guys are committed, not only like you. And I love the trick question from Reverend Galley when she said, well, I know you practiced, but I want you to tell me what you learned. And you all were able to execute that question. So kudos.
That wasn't me. That was our illustrious mayor of Evanston.
Yeah, I loved it, but I loved it.
Very good.
And I work with a group of young leaders myself, and we would love if anytime we make it come out there and help you guys with your project and volunteer. I'll drop my information in the chat as well. I'm the executive director and founder. I'm also a Chesapeake Bay Trust partner as well. So yeah, I'll definitely drop my information there.
Very good.
When and Kathy, do you know her, Lisa?
Yeah, I thought the name was familiar.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining tonight.
No, not a problem. I had received the email and I was like, I was going to click off when I heard Prince George's, then I heard the U. I said, all right, this is my cue to stay on here.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I cannot wait until Jana and Sadie sees this.
Super. So is there, do we have to cover anything else or?
No, we just,
because
we're just going to pray out and everybody be dismissed when you finish, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say again, thank you, everyone. I mean, I just love the engagement. I love just learning more because, and I'm just going to say this and then we're going to pray. But, if you read a book or read the Bible or read something and all of a sudden you have to read it again, you learn something more or it heightens, it means something different. And sometimes it's because you've matured. Sometimes when the first time you heard it, it was like, oh, okay. And then you hear it again, you go, light bulb, or I can do this, or I can do that. So that was this type of experience. So thank you so much. Amen.
Good night.
Everyone have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind comments. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.